Lies, deception, and gaslighting. It's not just manipulation. It's control designed to rewrite your reality. Although Canadians have always prided themselves on their honesty, it's a core value that has defined our national identity for generations. We are, after all, the country that routinely returns lost wallets with cash intact. This simple act of integrity has been a hallmark of our society. But recent years have seen a disturbing trend. Reports of dishonesty and corruption are becoming more frequent, shaking the trust we once took for granted. Lies, deception, and gaslighting have seeped into our national discourse, threatening the very fabric of our society. These issues are not just confined to politics, but are permeating everyday life. From the halls of Parliament to our daily interactions, the erosion of trust is palpable. The consequences are far-reaching, affecting our relationships, our communities, and our sense of security. This essay seeks to explore these complex issues, offering insights into their definitions, motivations, and devastating consequences. We will delve into the root causes and examine how these behaviors have become so widespread. More importantly, it aims to equip Canadians with the tools and knowledge to combat these insidious forces and restore integrity to our nation. By fostering open dialogue and promoting ethical behavior, we can begin to rebuild trust. The stakes have never been higher. Our collective future depends on our ability to address these challenges head-on. Our institutions, our communities, and our individual well-being depend on our ability to trust one another. Trust is the glue that holds our society together. To combat lies, deception, and gaslighting, we must first understand their nature and their insidious impact. Only then can we develop effective strategies to counteract them and safeguard our nation's integrity. Lies, deception, and gaslighting are distinct, yet interconnected concepts. Each of these tactics can be used to manipulate and control, often leaving the victim feeling confused and powerless. A lie, in its simplest form, is a deliberate falsehood, a conscious effort to mislead. Lies can be small, like a white lie told to avoid hurting someone's feelings, or they can be large and damaging, intended to deceive on a grand scale. Deception, however, casts a wider net. It is not limited to outright falsehoods, but includes a variety of tactics designed to mislead. It encompasses a broader range of tactics, including half-truths, manipulation, and the strategic withholding of information, all with the intent to deceive. Deception can be subtle, making it harder to detect and even more dangerous. Gaslighting, perhaps the most insidious of the three, takes aim at an individual's perception of reality. It is a form of psychological manipulation that seeks to make the victim doubt their own memory, perception, and sanity. It involves persistent denial, contradiction, and misdirection to sow seeds of doubt and make the victim question their own sanity. Over time, gaslighting can erode a person's confidence and sense of self, making them increasingly dependent on the manipulator. These tactics, though varied, share a common purpose: to gain an unfair advantage, to manipulate, to control. They're often used by those in positions of power to maintain their dominance and suppress dissent. They thrive in environments where truth is devalued and critical thinking is discouraged. In such settings, lies, deception, and gaslighting can flourish unchecked, causing significant harm to individuals and communities. Understanding the nuances of these terms is crucial to recognizing their presence in our lives. By being aware of these tactics, we can better protect ourselves and others from their harmful effects, fostering a culture of honesty and integrity. What drives individuals, organizations, and even governments to engage in such harmful behavior? The motivations behind lies, deception, and gaslighting are as varied as the tactics themselves. They can stem from a desire for personal gain, a need to protect one's reputation, or even a misguided attempt to control a narrative. In some cases, these behaviors are deeply ingrained, a product of personality disorders or a lifetime of learned behavior. Understanding the why behind these actions is not about excusing them, but about better equipping ourselves to recognize and address them. By recognizing the motivations, we can begin to anticipate and counter these tactics before they take root. The consequences of widespread dishonesty are far-reaching and profound. When trust is eroded, the very fabric of society begins to fray, leading to a cascade of negative outcomes that affect every level of community and governance. On an institutional level, lies and deception erode public trust in government, law enforcement, and even the media. This lack of trust can lead to a breakdown in the social contract, where citizens no longer feel confident in the systems designed to protect and serve them. This erosion of trust can have a chilling effect on civic engagement, as citizens become disillusioned and disengaged from the political process. Voter turnout declines, and public participation in community initiatives wanes, weakening the democratic foundation. Within organizations, a culture of deceit can lead to decreased morale, productivity, and innovation. Employees who feel they cannot trust their leaders or colleagues are less likely to invest their full effort and creativity into their work. The fear of speaking out or challenging the status quo can stifle creativity and lead to a climate of fear and suspicion. This environment not only hampers individual growth, but also stifles organizational progress and adaptability. On a personal level, the impact of lies, deception, and gaslighting can be devastating. Relationships built on trust can crumble, leaving individuals feeling isolated and betrayed. Victims often experience a range of emotions, including confusion, self-doubt, anxiety, and depression. These emotional responses can be overwhelming, making it difficult for individuals to navigate their daily lives. These experiences can have long-lasting effects on their personal relationships, self-esteem, and overall well-being. The ripple effects of dishonesty can touch every aspect of a person's life, from their mental health to their social connections. Omission, the silent deception. While outright lies and blatant manipulation are concerning, it is often the subtler forms of deception that prove most insidious. Omitting crucial information, selectively presenting facts, or framing a narrative in a misleading way can be just as damaging as outright falsehoods. This type of deception can be especially difficult to detect, as it often relies on exploiting our implicit biases and assumptions. In an age of information overload, we are constantly bombarded with data, making it challenging to discern truth from fabrication. This is where critical thinking skills become paramount. We must be vigilant in questioning the information we consume, seeking out multiple perspectives, and demanding transparency from those in positions of power. Case studies, lies, deception, and gaslighting in Canada. Canada, despite its reputation for honesty, is not immune to the corrosive effects of deceit. The sponsorship scandal of the early 2000s, which involved the Liberal government misappropriating public funds intended for national unity initiatives, shook the nation's trust in the political system. More recently, the WE charity scandal, which saw Prime Minister Justin Trudeau embroiled in allegations of conflict of interest, further fueled public cynicism towards government ethics. These high-profile cases serve as stark reminders that lies and deception can occur at the highest levels of power. They underscore the need for greater transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct from our elected officials. Recognizing the subtle differences. While lies, deception, and gaslighting share the common goal of misleading, understanding their nuances is crucial. A lie is a direct falsehood, while deception can involve manipulation or withholding information. Gaslighting, on the other hand, aims to make the victim doubt their own sanity. Recognizing these subtle differences can help us better identify and address these behaviors. By developing a keen eye for these tactics, we can begin to protect ourselves and others from their harmful effects. This involves being aware of our own biases, critically evaluating information, and trusting our instincts when something feels amiss. Empowering ourselves, tools for mitigation and prevention. Combating lies, deception, and gaslighting requires a multifaceted approach. On a personal level, we can arm ourselves with critical thinking skills, learning to identify logical fallacies, emotional manipulation, and misleading rhetoric. We can also cultivate a healthy skepticism, questioning information from all sources, especially those with a vested interest in a particular outcome. Furthermore, we can foster a culture of accountability, both in our personal lives and in the institutions we engage with. Calling out dishonesty, demanding transparency from those in power, and supporting media literacy initiatives are all crucial steps in mitigating the impact of deceit. The path forward towards a more honest Canada. The fight against lies, deception, and gaslighting is not about assigning blame or engaging in partisan attacks. It is about reclaiming our shared values of honesty, integrity, and accountability. It is about creating a society where truth is valued, critical thinking is encouraged, and deceit is met with swift and appropriate consequences. Aegis Institute Canada offers a range of courses designed to equip individuals with the tools and knowledge to navigate this complex landscape. From critical thinking and agendas to conflict resolution and understanding words, these courses provide practical strategies for identifying and addressing deceit in all its forms. By investing in these skills, we can collectively work toward a more honest and just Canada. Thank you for watching. We hope you found our micro-learning course both informative and enjoyable. Thank you for watching. At Aegis Institute Canada, we strive to provide interesting and informative content. We encourage you to visit, like, share, comment, and subscribe to our social channels on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Unlock your future today. Enroll now for our industry-leading courses to propel your career and company forward. We invite you to visit our website and explore our many corporate security certification programs at aegisinstitutecanada.ca.